Scanning film. Guys, it doesn't have to be that difficult. And to be honest, if you're not scanning your own film, you are wasting so much money. If you do any decent amount of photography, film photography, you need to start scanning your own film. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how I scan film because I feel like I found a really fast, time-efficient way to get your film into the computer and onto Instagram and anywhere else you want to put it. Okay, I'm gonna assume you're like 90% of film photographers and you're using an Epson scanner. Before we even begin, this is probably the most important part of this video, is you need to update your Epson Scan software to Epson Scan 2. So go ahead, pause this video, get that update right now, and you'll thank me later. All right, so now we're gonna wanna go ahead and take our negatives and get them loaded into the film scanner. So you wanna take your negatives, make sure the shiny side is down. And if you're not sure which side is shiny, just go ahead and hold it up to like a light, natural light window or something like that. And you'll see that one side's really shiny and one side's a little flat. So shiny side down, go ahead and close the tray. Now the Epson scanner can use 35mm or 120mm film. It just kind of depends on your level of film hipster. Now that you have your negatives loaded into your film scanner right here, you're gonna wanna go ahead and open up the Epson Scan 2 software, and we're just gonna go ahead and make sure we have our settings right before we start scanning our photos. All right, so here's what you're gonna want. You're gonna want your scanner, Epson Perfection V550, so just choose your scanner, scan settings, none, photo mode, mode, photo mode, and we're gonna be in the main settings tab. We're gonna go to document source transparency unit, document type color, negative film. And now if you have black and white, go ahead and choose black and white, but I'm using color, so we're gonna choose color. Image type, 24-bit color. Now, if you're gonna be printing the photo, you're gonna wanna use 48-bit color because that makes it smoother when it's like switching colors. I don't know, I don't really get that nerdy about this stuff, but if it's just gonna be on your devices and everything, just leave that 24-bit color. Resolution, 2400 DPI is just fine for now. However, like I said, if you're gonna be printing it big, then maybe go for like 4800 or 6400, but 2400 is great. Scanning quality high, duh, why would we want some basic scan quality, right? And then go down to image format, you're gonna hit JPEG. Now, JPEG is what I recommend it most of the time. However, if you're gonna be printing this photo or if it's gonna be used for something that's gonna be blown up really big, then use a TIFF file format, but I wouldn't recommend scanning all of your film. Oh my God, there's like a hair on my microphone. I wouldn't recommend scanning all of your film in TIFF because it's such a big file size. So I'd say really just save that for very important projects and very important photos that you really care about. So just JPEG, choose your file name, choose your folder, and then now we're gonna go ahead and hit preview. Boom, we have our previews. And if you notice something very interesting, that the photos are already auto-exposed and selected and cropped out for us. Now this, for me, is probably the most amazing feature of the Epson Scan 2 software. I try to take the path of least resistance that makes my life easier. So, like I said, for 99.9% of the time, this is what I'll use, right? So what I'll do is I'll just go in and I'll look at the photos. You know, I'm not trying to get perfect quality in photo settings here. I just let it kind of auto expose, and then I'll fix it in Lightroom if I don't like the way it looks. This is just a great baseline. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and fix the orientation of all my photos. You know, this is just like a fun roll of film. So I'm over here just kind of fixing it. You know, this isn't some fine art stuff that I'm gonna print and put in the Smithsonian or anything like that. So just these baseline auto exposure settings are just fine. We're gonna wanna go to advanced settings, and we're gonna wanna turn digital ice technology on. Now this is a very crucial step, and we're gonna wanna use digital ice technology because that is gonna auto detect any of the dust, noise, and scratches on the negatives. If you guys have noticed, I haven't really used gloves or dusted the thing or sterilized and all that crazy stuff that a lot of nerdy photographers do on YouTube. The digital ice technology will take care of that for you. However, I have noticed that if you're using black and white photos, be careful with the digital ice technology because it might mess up and kind of distort your black and white photos. So that's just kind of a big pro tip right there. So what you're gonna wanna do is go ahead and hit this little button right here where you select all. Go ahead and just make sure everything is on. Your digital ice technology is on. You don't need to do any of the unsharp mask, color restoration, backlight, anything. Of course, you're welcome to play around with it, and maybe there's some results that you like. However, I like to make sure that Epson does as little as possible to my photo because I can always sharpen and do any sort of corrections in Lightroom. Once you do that, we're gonna go ahead and hit scan. However, this is the super basic, fast way that I do it. If you do want a little bit more control, what you can do is go up here and hit thumbnail, And so now you're going to notice a whole different box. What you're going to want to do is go ahead and take your cursor and select a small spot inside of your photo. Now, if you see it auto selected the exposure, if you don't want to deal with that, go ahead and come over here to color management and turn off continuous auto exposure. Yes. So if you see, if we go ahead and delete this, boom, and we highlight it again, it's no longer auto exposing. So what you're going to want to do is select a small box like that, hit right here where it says auto, boom, see how it's nice and auto exposed? We're going to select an area bigger than our photo just to make sure we don't cut off anything in our photo, because we can use, because we can use Lightroom to crop, of course, so it's better to have too much than have too little and have to rescan again. No one wants to do that. So you're going to want to go ahead and do that for every negative here, every scan, which is why I don't do this. If you've noticed, I don't want to sit here and do this. I used to sit here and do this, but I don't want to do this. This is a giant waste of time. The Epson does a great job by itself. I don't know why people don't trust it. So like, look, let's go back up to the thumbnail. Look at that. It did all the work for us. It just saved us like 10 to 15 minutes of time right there. That is just the best part about this new software update. We're going to go ahead and select all, make sure we have our digital ice technology on. And now the digital ice technology will add a little bit more scan time to it. However, do you really want to be editing out all that dust and noise and random stuff on your negatives manually? Yeah, I don't think so. So we're ready to go. It's all selected. Digital ice is turned on. It's going to the right folders. Always good to double check. Boom, boom, boom. Hit scan. All right, so now that that's doing its thing, we can literally just do anything else. I highly recommend you like and subscribe on this video. No, but seriously, like, that'd be kind of cool. I'd appreciate that. That'd be nice. The wait is over. The film is scanned. So now let's go ahead and just make sure everything is perfect, put some nice touches on it, make sure everything looks great so we can post it on IG and get all that goddamn clout. All right, so what you're going to want to do is pull it up in Lightroom like we have right here. Go ahead and hit import on that bad boy. Look at that. Look at the beauty of that. Our photos are already selected, auto exposed. However, they're not perfect. And if you kind of notice, these photos look weird because the person who developed them didn't do a good job, like this part. But some of them look really good. Like, look at that banger. Look at this banger right here, that multiple exposure banger. So this photo is kind of ruined. I don't know what this stuff over here is, but as you can see, I kind of wish the shadows were a little more prevalent. So I'll just pull up the shadows. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Oh, you want some more? Boom, pulling up the shadows. My friend's smoking cigarettes. Honestly, this photo looks completely trash. See, like, how do we save this one? How do we save this one? Some photos are just not bangers, you know what I'm saying? This photo, look at this banger. What a banger. And so, guys, as you can see, the scan looks fine. Like, the colors look good, baseline. I really can't complain about anything here. It's nice and cropped perfectly, just how I'd want it to. You can go ahead and mess with the settings, mess with your contrast, all that stuff. You can change the color balance if you want. All right, so that's how I scan my film 99.9% of the time. It saves me so much time, energy, and effort, and I honestly love this sort of workflow. A lot of photographers on YouTube do use Negative Lab Pro, which I think is a great option. For the 0.1% of time that I don't use this method, I actually use Negative Lab Pro, but that's only for pieces that I know I'm gonna print that are for like art exhibitions, fine art, stuff that I really, really, really care about. I personally don't think it's worth my time and energy and effort to use Negative Lab Pro every time for every photo. I just don't want to spend all that extra time. And for me, it's all about saving money and time. Period. Period. Motherfucker. Period. That period did. Period did. Period. All right, that's it, guys. Hope this helps. Like, subscribe, all that fun YouTuber stuff. And I will catch you in the next video. Peace out.
Lucky for you, that's why I